Hello everyone, this is Tormuse, and today I'm picking up where I left off in OmOneko. It was a rather rough spot we left off last time. The big moral dilemma about whether to, I was going to say spend life savings on saving Shimi. It isn't really his life savings, it's all his allotment for the month plus a priceless family heirloom. Um, um, yeah, it's like I touched on it at the end. Like strictly speaking, like if we were talking about like an IRL like feral cat or dog that was injured and needed to be put down, um, probably putting it down is the more sensible choice rather than spending uh, spending a lot of money on that. Um, what am I trying to say here? It's different if it's actually someone's pet, like actually someone's family member, etc. But it's I don't know. The reason I chose the other option, to save her, it kind of boils down to, I mean, a few different things. One, it's that so it's like that meme post thing that I saw once. It's something like someone's asking like, why do you always pick the nice options in video games? It's because like my no consequence power fantasy is being able to help everyone. So there you go. um, I just generally feel like there's got to be more to Shimi's story, right? Um, what can I say? Uh, like it just seemed to be all these hints that there's more to her than it seems on the surface. Um, I don't know. I have the sneaking suspicion that she like had a life before she was like on the run on the street. Um, maybe I'm reading too much into it. Maybe that wasn't the intent of like it depends on the writer really. Anyway, why don't I just without further ado just load this up and get back into it. I have difficulty imagining that they would just rate Shimi out of it just like that. But yeah, anyway. The dreams stay with me all day, finally fading when Sawbones comes back to deliver Shimi's medication. As soon as he arrives, he gets to work. Sawbones removes the old IV bag and attaches two more, showing me how it's done. It seems simple enough. He leaves more bags in my refrigerator. For later. Because I'm an optimist. Then he pulls two nylon straps out of his bag and wraps a strap around each of Shimi's wrists, attaching the other ends to the bed frame, tying her down. Whoops, I guess we just lost our bed here. It's Shimi's bed now. Incidentally, there's an ad break coming up in 3 minutes. I'll pause the game when it comes on, but yeah, okay, moving on. Is that so she doesn't pull out her IV? He gives a wry smile, but doesn't answer the question. Instead, he gets strangely cryptic. Adam gave up a rib for Eve. How much of yourself are you willing to sacrifice for this feral? Before I can process the weight of his biblical riddle, Sawbones has already packed up and is ready to leave. Before he goes, he pauses, becoming very serious. I honestly didn't think she'd last this long, so I didn't think we'd need to have this conversation, but she did, so we do. There's one more thing. And hey, Maddie's here. Welcome to the stream. How's it going? The next pause is to make sure he has my undivided attention. He does that a lot, pausing. It's pretty annoying, but he's given Shimi a chance now, and I'm grateful, so I focus. Listen, this isn't a human. I know she isn't. You're talking isn't listening. That's why I said listen, so you would listen and not talk. Close my mouth and he continues. Nico's, well, it doesn't happen every time, but there's a real possibility that acute dissociative delirium could be an issue. He pauses again as I blink at him. It's clear to both of us that I have no idea what he's trying to tell me. bouts of delirium, catatonic excitement, panic states, rage reactions. His clinical seriousness is sobering. One word stands out: rage. If that happens, she will see everything around her as a threat. Even sedated, she may become violent. As though stuck in a nightmare that nothing can wake her from, she will mistake everything around her as the thing that is causing her pain. That includes you, your harem of Nikos and you. The news footage of the two dead pharaohs plays in my head. I can feel Shimi's sharp nails on my wrist again. He pulls something out of his pocket and hands it to me. A capped syringe? He's handing him the drugs to put her down, if need be, basically. 30 seconds to ad break. What's this? It's mercy. Stick her anywhere with this, and she'll go quietly to sleep. I take a syringe, but he doesn't let go of my hand right away. He makes sure I'm still paying full attention, and in this moment I am. Ethically, this syringe is the only treatment I should have administered at all. I should have put her to sleep last night. See, there's a reason why we euthanize sick and injured Nikos, especially pharaohs. What you're doing, at best, it's crazy. Most people would consider it suicidal. He lets the words sink in. But I'm not here to judge. He slaps me on the shoulder, wishes me luck, picks up his bag, and leaves. And with that, the last medical expert I know walks out of my life. I have to frame it like that. You should treat everything as a reaction to abandonment issues. Oh well. Ad break is imminent. Maybe this is a good moment to just get a jump start on that, and just I'll be right back. And I'm back again. My eyes drift over Shimi, lingering on the nylon straps, tethering her unconscious body to the bed. Violent, crazy, rage. The syringe in my hand starts to feel heavy. I place it in the drawer next to the bed. I don't know, if it enters a violent rage, you might not be able to get to that drawer next to the bed. What do I know? Besides something like that, it feels like, I don't know, it feels like you should put it somewhere that's more secure. What do I know? And Diablo Games here. Welcome to the stream. How's it going? Hey Tworm, gotta catch up on part 3 and this one. Unfortunately, I've got people over today, so I'll be here briefly. Hope you're still having a good time though. Cool. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for saying hello. Hope you have a good time with your friends or whomever. Yeah, I didn't put up part 3 till late. I just plain forgot to put it up. I put it up like a few minutes ago. So whoops. But yeah, I put it up on my YouTube channel. I mean, anyway, moving right along. So as the day crawls on, we attend to Shimi. The uncertainty of it all is daunting, difficult to bear. Still, there is hope. Chemicals and hope. I'm assuming this is supposed to say still, perhaps? So a good bit of busy week, yeah. Oof. Well, hey, I mean, sill is it'll like as in windowsill is it's in the dictionary, so at least spell check wouldn't have picked this one up. So maybe it's less embarrassing than the happened without the e that was in the previous scene. Oof, yeah. Anyway, the chemicals, sterile solutions in their convenient packaging. Antibiotics, sedatives, nutrients, electrolytes, cocktails of chemicals, measured recipes made to help Shimi fight her infection, to help Shimi rest, to keep her hydrated, to keep her alive. And then... Got a feeling that this cat has a few lives left. I hear Goro's words in my head. His voice chases away all the others. Hope. A force from somewhere less material than the bags of chemicals greater than any industry could manufacture. Hope seems to buoy me above the worry and concern. They're still there. It's still very real. But despite Sawbones' warnings and Shimi's straps, hope carries me above them. 2 bags hang from the lamp. A small one and a big one. Tubes from each bag trail to a connector, blending the fluids into a single line that slowly feeds into Shimi through a needle in her arm. Her arm that's strapped to the bed frame, to keep her from tearing out the needle and for other reasons. The bags are numbered and dated in black marker with small bag in the morning written on each with small bag in the morning written on each small bag and big bag in the evening written on each big one. I felt insulted when I saw that he had numbered and written that on every bag, as if I was an imbecile or a small child who couldn't grasp basic instructions. But now, watching the almost imperceptibly slow drip of liquid from the bag into the attached cup, and from the cup into the attached tube, and from the tube into Shimi, it could so easily be overwhelming. I'm completely lacking the emotional skills to even begin to deal with something like this. There is a part of me that can't help but see this as history repeating itself, that once again it will all come apart, that part of my life that I'm way too fond of will be ripped away, that I will lose Shimi like I lost Dad. Incidentally, as much as it might bruise Protag's ego to have the bags that clearly labeled, it's not just helpful, it's necessary. There are tons of stories of things going wrong because of dumb mistakes made by like medical practitioners were running on autopilot, not paying attention to details. Like, there's an alarming number. I mean, it's not a huge number, but it's big enough to be alarming, of cases of things like wrong-sided surgery. Like I heard a story about a guy who had a diseased kidney and the doctor was supposed to remove it, and he removed the healthy kidney and left the diseased one in there because he got the sides mixed up. Like, yikes. Yeah, it doesn't matter how smart you think you are. Simple errors still happen. Yeah, exactly. Still happen. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I was yeah, because I was in college for the nursing program for a time. I didn't complete the program, but I heard stories. There are operating rooms where the standard procedure is at the start of every surgery, um, say out loud to everyone in the room, okay, this is so and so, call the person by name. They're in for this surgery. This is what exactly what we're going to do, and et cetera, et cetera. Communicate as clearly as possible to everyone in the room before the surgery begins, because in the past there were um, there were instances where that wasn't done, and the nurses in the room are kind of like, I don't know, doctor's working on the wrong side, but I assume he knows what he's doing, or even like they have the wrong patient because they didn't double check the names and like got confused about like I don't know, like patients switched beds or something. Um, and they have a lot of like there's a lot of people in the hospital. Like, not that I'm trying to scare people away from going to the hospital or anything, but like there are reasons, steps are taken to make things idiot proof. Make sure that everything is as clearly communicated as possible. Because if you don't do that, mistakes happen, no matter how smart you think you are. Anyway, moving right along. That I will lose Shimi like I lost Dad. But there is hope, and hope keeps the crushing doubt at bay. I can't explain the unnatural attachment that I have to Shimi, and as ridiculous as comparing her to my father is, or it should feel ridiculous, but somehow... I hear Pepper at the doorway, interrupting my musings. She went to get a fresh towel and bowl of ice water. She still refuses to enter the room. I can't blame her. I feel like a stranger here, too. But yeah, like, I should feel ridiculous, but somehow ... Well, yeah, I mean, this is clearly repeating Protag's trauma here of losing his dad, and he's wants to like get it right this time, kind of deal. Anyway, Claudia takes the bowl and towel from Pepper. Pepper remains hovering in the doorway. Shimi stays strapped to the bed. Claudia soaks and wrings out the towel and dabs Shimi's head, face and neck, and arms. She keeps looking over at me, checking on me, gauging how I'm doing. I want to put on a brave face for her, but it's hard to focus. The lack of sleep is wearing on me, on all of us. Ignoring the nagging doubts and creeping concerns, I keep doing the only thing I can, sitting on the edge of the bed, gently petting Shimi's warm ear and quietly croaking at her like I've been doing all day. My voice is rough and starting to go hoarse from so much talking. I was telling Shimi about Goro. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of feel like maybe you should be letting her rest rather than petting her and talking to her. I mean, I get that you want to feel like you're doing something, but oh well. Anyway, let's move on. I wish he was here. He's a pain in the ass, but great to have around when there's a problem. Well, one he didn't create, anyway. Goro didn't have concerns, or if he did, I'd say he was most concerned about missing an opportunity to say outrageous things at inappropriate times. Still, I called Goro when he came, without hesitation. I knew he would. Maybe that's what I miss the most. Middle of the night, he drives here. Goro, my safety net, always a phone call away. If I asked, he would drop what he was doing and come help me. No matter how trivial or crazy, even patching up a feral Nico. Despite my friend's absence, he still makes me smile. I look over at Pepper, framed in the doorway. She has really been uncharacteristically helpful. Every time I see her now, I think of Goro. He's a jackass, there's no denying that, but his jokes and antics were never mean. He caused reactions, but only to make people's lives a bit more interesting. Like a time he went to the public library and put a sign on the copier that said voice activated, and people were yelling, "Make 5 copies" at the poor machine. That's... I've heard about that one. That particular practical joke. He's hard to stay mad at. Even dumping Pepper on me, he was right. I do have the room, and the way she's been helping, I'm really glad she's here. Why the hell did Goro have to join the army? I mean... I don't know, I have misgivings about the way Goro left Pepper here. I mean, leaving her tied by her neck to the door handle, that's just... I gotta go get everything clean, ready. Good luck out. Thanks. Yeah, have a good one. Anyway. Trying to shake the dark clouds from my head, I touch the strap on Shimi's arm. It doesn't help. Why did you get hit by a car? Maybe there's no answer. Maybe sometimes things just happen. I watch Shimi breathe, counting the long pauses between each deep inhale and quick exhale. Long pause. Deep inhale, quick exhale. Sometimes her eyes and ears twitch slightly, like she's deep in a dream, lost, trying to find her way out, trying to find a way to the surface. I feel like I can feel it, and now I'm back to thinking about it. I don't understand this, but a part of me is connected to a part of her. Pheromones, maybe? Whatever it is, I know one thing. What happens to her is going to have lasting effects on me. Yeah. I mean... Yeah, like part of the reason I chose the saber option. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like a lot of the reason I chose the option to saber is like for meta reasons of more content this way. But also there's just the sense that yeah. Imagine the survivor's guilt that comes out of that. Like if you just let her go and you know, get stuck with the feeling of, but I could have done something, or what if I'd helped? What if I'd done more than just put her down, etc. Yeah. Yeah, and pheromones maybe. I mean, I don't know. Like, I'm still not ruling out the like. I don't know. I don't know the scope or extent of the world building in this. If it's gonna turn out that there's some kind of, like I mentioned, a psychic connection or something. Like the way he senses her coming into the room before he sees her, or the fact that he got woken up in the middle of the night and drawn to her, even though she was unconscious. Like, I sort of wonder if there's going to turn out to be more to it than that. Which also fed into my reasons for, you know, choosing to save her. Anyway, moving right along. It's evening. The long shadows signal time to change the big bag, which Pepper fetches from the refrigerator, and like Sawbones showed me, I do. 2 bags. Everything for Shimi is in 2 bags. Chemicals and hope. Looking out the window, the birds are singing, the sun is starting to set. Claudia and Pepper really look tired. Shimi, if she's calm, maybe we'll get some rest. If she's calm, maybe we'll get some rest tonight. If not, it'll be another long night. You'll know pretty soon, a few days at most. Come on, Shimi, you can do it. I'm here with you. But she'll have none of it. Shimi stirs, rolling her head from side to side, telling me that she will not be still tonight. The smells of sweat and chemicals and musk, the whole room does. The whole room does. And that surreal strangeness, heavy and thick, fills the entire house. I'm in the kitchen, but I don't remember why I came here. Oh, another one of these? It takes me a minute to retrace my steps. It was a long night. Shimi wasn't still, but she didn't wake up either. Her fever keeps spiking, causing her to toss and turn. She'd yank her arms, stretching the thin nylon straps that secure her to the bed. Each time, the straps would make a low, wafting twang, sounding like a stand-up bass that was strung with a power line. Oh, right. IV bag. It's morning. Pepper and I came to get the small bag. Forgetting why I'm here wouldn't be so bad if I wasn't already holding the bag in my hand. Seeing Sawbones' handwriting, the black marker where he labeled a number at each one helps me focus. Sashimi die? I'm unprepared for Pepper's question, and more unprepared for the subject. She's asking if Shimi's going to die. The hope that's been keeping my spirits afloat is still with me. But the truth is, even with Sawbones repeating it as likely, even with all we've gone through to get this far, I don't have an answer to that question. Pepper's point-blank demand to know gives the question a weight too heavy to ignore. I know she's not looking for a flowery language of hope, she just wants to know the truth. That requires me to be honest with myself. I think back to Sawbones and his long pauses and handing me the syringe. This isn't the best way to do this. It will work or it won't. Definitely one or the other. Will Shimi die? I don't know, Pepper. I really hope not. Pepper holds my eyes for a moment, and we both contemplate my answer. Neither of us is very satisfied by it. She heads back towards the bedroom, and I feel very alone. All I can do is try to stay on task, give Shimi the medicine, and hold on to the hope. A scream. The crash of breaking furniture. Before I can think, I've already dropped the IV bag on the counter, and I'm sprinting to the bedroom. Pepper blocks the doorway, stopping me. I can see over her into the room. What I see, I let her stop me. The scream wasn't Shimi's. The scream was Shimi's. She looks wild, terrified, crazed. The bed sheets are in shambles, kicked away and torn. The headboard, wall, and picture above the bed are wrecked by gouges from her nails. The damage caused by the thin figure strapped to the bed seems unbelievable. But I thought she was strapped to the bed so she wouldn't be able to do that. I mean, weren't the straps like binding her arms, or did I misread that or misremember or something? Whatever. Then I understand. Fear shears away all thought. One of Shimi's arms is still strapped to the bed frame, but the other, she snapped one of the straps. The frayed webbing at the end of her arm floats like a fine gossamer, unraveled, not unlike a torn funeral veil. Her closed eyes, absent expression, and soft pained mewings echo throughout the room. I find myself trembling. Claudia is to my left, crouched and fully on guard, putting the distance of the room between her and the frightened creature in the bed. Yeah, see, like, now you can't get to the drawer by the bed that has the syringe if you need to. Whoopsie. Anyway. Shimi seems oblivious to the strap that still holds one wrist, and by extension the rest of her, to the bed. She absently tugs against it as if unsure where her arm ends and the strap or bed begin. The lines of her IV jump rope with each tug. The needle in her arm is there, but the tape and bandage holding it in her are blushed red. The remaining strap flexes but holds. If it snaps too... Sorry. Yeah. Shimi's eyes open. I really don't want to go in there. Pepper clear doesn't want me to either, but I have to. Swallowing hard, I do my best to keep a calm voice and sound like I'm still in control. It's okay. Let me go in. Crazy. Pepper's expression mirrors Claudia's. I'm not sure if Claudia's saying I'm crazy for wanting to go in, or that Shimi is crazy and I shouldn't go in. Either. Both. She's crazy and I'm crazy. I should not go in. Reluctantly, Pepper lets me pass. Shimi's hazy eye quickly darts away from me, leaping around to briefly fix on different objects in the room, then back to me. She nervously scans her surroundings, recognizing none of it. Crazy. Slow and heavy, each of her labored breaths seems to suck hope from the room. I'm helpless to do anything but watch. It's okay, Shimi explodes with sudden energy, trying to flee. She aims her panic right towards me, throwing herself forward hard against the strap, causing the bed to jump away from the wall and the strap to twang. She's jerked back with enough force to yank her arm out of the socket, but she seems unfazed and repeats the violent act. The flailing IV lines twist the bags hang from the lamp, causing the hooks holding them in place to release, and all of it tumbles to the floor. Shimi turns violently toward the sound, the tendons in her neck stark, strained. The burst tremor causes me to step reflexively backwards, tripping over myself and falling into my chair. Claudia protectively steps closer to me. Pepper holds onto the door jamb. Both their nervousness and alarm at the sudden turn are overshadowed by the energy and panting of the confused creature leashed to the bed. I have no idea how the remaining strap doesn't snap or how the part of the bed frame it's tied to stays together. If Shimi were to get loose... Shimi fights the strap that still holds her to the bed. Grunting, she tugs against it, relentlessly stretching it. The air resounds with guillotine snaps, making a low twang with each tug, underscoring the scene with strange dramatic chords. Shimi twists her free hand, reaching out, slashing at something only she can see. Finding no purchase, she lets out a sound that I can only vaguely describe as a scream. It's a guttural, savage, inhuman sound that resounds through my bones, causing me to press even deeper into the chair. I'm unable to move, unable to catch my breath, unable to help her. Then her eyes seem to widen, locking on me. And for a moment, she recognizes me. This is a change. Shimi is back. Her expression, desperate, terrified, begging. I reach towards her. Her neck strains as utter confusion steals the moment from us. All recognition leaves her. Shimi twists onto her side, trembling. Shimi's entire being jerks savagely. Her hands ball into twisted fists. She trembles, but it's not like before. Her movements are strained and unfocused, violent twists and jerks. Every muscle shakes and writhes, contracting and spasming. Shimi makes a long gurgling noise from deep in her throat, and her eye fills with an empty nothing. Seizure. The air in the room is gooey and hard to breathe. There's a sound. It takes a moment for me to realize it's coming from me. Shimi! Shimi suddenly arches, her shivering chest rises high into the air, rigid. Her pain and terror somehow have enveloped me, encompassed me. The muscles of my stomach tighten violently, bending me to the floor. This is beyond empathy. It's something I've never experienced before. It all rends and tears at me. I almost vomit from the pain. She collapses, completely still, limp, like the wet rags that we've been using to fight her fever. The room is very quiet now. It takes me a long time to breathe, and when I do, it comes in great gasps. What just happened? Claudia and Pepper's sadness and fear are solid things that I can touch, heavy as if carved from marble. Shimi hasn't moved. None of us have. Is she breathing? I have to go to her. My eyes wander across the damage to the bedding, the gouged headboard and plaster. My mind returns to the other night. Snap, like a rat trap. Still, I have to. Struggling to rise, I crawl to her, cautiously approaching. I keep expecting Shimi to leap up and bite me on the neck like the vampiress in some cheap horror movie. She doesn't. And she is breathing. The relief is overshadowed by the grief and pain still coursing through my veins. It takes more effort than it should to unclench and open my hands. They shake as I clumsily pick up the IV bags. Kitchen counter, bag, medicine. The request trails off into soundless nothing. I'm out of breath from just speaking a few words. My voice sounds strange, thin and jarring against the stillness of the room. Pepper dashes off to the kitchen, returning right away with the small bag in the morning. I'm shaking so badly that I can't change her medicine. Claudia places her hands onto mine, steadying me enough to twist the tube and get the spike into the new bag. She takes it and hangs it on the lamp. It all feels so futile. I try to reattach the broken strap, but it's completely frayed, like Shimi, useless, like me. The only thing I could find as a substitute is my belt. It's shorter and would be less comfortable, but it's better than nothing. I could loop it through the bed frame, then try and knot the end to the short bit of strap still on her wrist. It might work. Before I can decide to keep looking for something that would work better or use the belt, Shimi starts to rouse. It is a recurring nightmare. Shimi suffers violent delirium, lashing out to fend off her phantom attacker, then trying to flee from it. The strap keeps her in place. Each time it ends with a seizure, and then she's quiet for a while, until it begins again. Each time, Shimi's fear and pain somehow envelop me. I move away from her and curl up into a ball on the floor, grasping my head and shutting my eyes as tight as I can, waiting for the crazy to pass. Each time her sanity starts to appear, we watch the fever eat away at it as she grasps at the empty air, struggling to escape her own fire. Pepper watches over us and brings us things, but never enters the room. Claudia and I take turns dabbing the cold, wet cloth against Shimi's hot flesh. We make use of her unconsciousness to clean her and quickly give Shimi distance when her badness comes. It is emotionally and physically draining. At first, I'm not sure where I am. The bonds of sleep do not release me easily. So tired. I'm in my chair. It was less sleep and more passing out from exhaustion. I'm still not sure if I'm awake. It all feels so unreal. Next to me there's a plate of peanut butter crackers and a glass of milk. I don't remember getting either of them. Claudia must have brought it. At the sound of her name, Claudia looks over. She's sitting, still fighting the bonfire that is Shimi, cooling her head with a damp towel. Is she doing this for me? Helping me to help Shimi? Or is this one Nico aiding another? I don't know, but then again, it may just be Claudia. Mia could be lying there and Claudia would be giving just as much care. Thank you for this. My gratitude refers to both helping Shimi and the plate. I still have no appetite, but forcing myself to swallow the crackers and milk seems something that I can actually accomplish. Pepper. Her reply takes my tired brain a moment to process. At first I look over at the doorway expecting to see Pepper, then realize that she's telling me Pepper brought the peanut butter crackers and milk. Pepper, yeah, she's a good kitty. She just hides it well. I'd say that she's earned back her chores rewards. That thought makes me chuckle humorlessly as I drag myself from the chair and over to the bed. My legs feel wooden. Claudia tries to smile, but it looks forced. She looks like I feel, worn out, in need of a long bath and a longer sleep. My turn. Go try and rest for a bit. Shimi suddenly sits up just as Claudia hands me the bowl of ice water. Seeing some invisible thread above her, she attacks, striking at it. Her movement catches both of us off guard and knocks the bowl of ice-cold water everywhere. All three of us are soaked, and the shock of cold water makes Shimi gasp. Claudia and I barely have time to move out of her reach. Shimi interprets this surprise ice bath as another attack upon her. She feverishly tears at the wet sheet with her hands as the bedposts jump and thump against the floor. She twists, panicked, but the strap still somehow holds her firm. I still question whatever. Anytime Protag says something about what other characters are thinking and feeling, I always imagine that treat that as suspect. Shimi interprets it as another attack on her. Anyway, moving on. We stay back and wait. And wait. Shimi's burst of panic should have passed already. It's going on too long. I'm gripped with a terrifying premonition, the dire anticipation, waiting for a seizure and the pain that will envelop me. But it doesn't come. There is a reason why we euthanize sick and injured Nikos. The voice scolds. Was he right? Is this just being cruel to Shimi, making her endure until her heart finally gives out from exhaustion? We wait and hope she will be still again. Finally she is. It's a dream. I know it's a dream, but it's unlike any others. The angles are strange, the perspective's off, the colors are wrong. And they make sounds. I can see the sounds. I'm naked, hiding. Searing pain racks my body and my mind, hobbling me to the cold ground. The ringing in my ears is an alarm, terrifying like squeals of a pack of rats. Like I keep saying, like, is she telepathic? Is he reliving her memory of being on the run and finding herself in the bushes there. Just like the curious comment earlier. Where was it? Gripped with the terrifying premonition, the dire anticipation, waiting for her seizure, and the pain that will envelop me. It's like, is he feeling her pain? Anyway. The ringing in my ears is an alarm, terrifying like squeals of a pack of rats. I should push myself to keep moving, maybe find a better hiding spot, but I can't go on any farther. The lack of blood in my joints means it hurts to move. I'm cold, every part of me just wants to sleep. Something is moving in my direction. Death had been stalking me. I need to fight it, but my head is throbbing. It's all closing in, enveloping, tightening. The sound, wraith-like, getting louder, thundering, bearing down on me like a freight train. Blind anger, unlike any I've ever known, fills me. I know it's a dream, but I can't wake up from it. Then I'm awake and on my feet, wishing I was still dreaming. I knew. Right away I knew. Shimi's labored breathing, only coming in halting gasps. Claudia holding my hand, and the tears in her eyes told me everything. Shimi is at the edge, fighting for life with every breath, and fighting for each breath. The invisible enemy wraps its cold teeth around her. The shadow's slow suffocation, bit by bit, stealing her away with small bites. Though the reasons why may forever be obscure to me, I feel it all somehow. And I can't catch my breath. That connection we have, ugly now, tries to double me over in pain. Through her exhaustion, Shimi tries to defend against it with a clumsy but determined strike with her free hand. The victim, one of the pillows in the bed, spills its contents in a great bloom. The air in the room thickens, solidifying around us like cement, squeezing the air from our lungs and the crackers from my stomach. I feel the agony, the suffocation, the strike. I still can't catch my breath. Shimi's shrill cries cut through the room like a razor. Without wanting to, my eyes focus on the drawer beside the bed, towards Sawbone's syringe filled with mercy. Hey, Codes here. Welcome to the stream. How's it going? Sorry, I wasn't laughing at the scene on the screen. I was just laughing at the timing of Code's arrival. Yeah, you've come in a really tense moment, I dare say. One of the cat girls is possibly dying from a systemic infection and is becoming deliriously crazed and angry and lashing out at everyone around her. And the doctor gave Protag a syringe to put her down if need be. It gave me an option earlier. Like, do you want to save her or do you want to just put her down? And I chose the save her option. And the doctor's like, it's like, your funeral. Like, I recommend you put her down because she's gonna go nuts, and you're putting yourself in danger here. He kind of like gives him the syringe and leaves. Anyway, Ham gave up a rib for Eve. How much of yourself are you willing to sacrifice? Claudia turns to me. Risk everything or mercifully end the suffering? Yeesh. Well, I mean, we've come this far. We just like here's sunken cost is sinking in here, you know. Sunken cost fallacy. Is it fallacy? I don't know. I mean, we already spent the money on the medication. Well, yeah, I guess it really does get a bit dark. Oh yeah, it took a turn during my last stream session, and it's continuing to turn. So yeah, I mean, if I'm like if this was like a real life scenario, like I mean, like mercifully end the suffering might be the right choice. Um, like I said, I had a long discussion of this in the last stream session. I was like, um, there are worse things than death. Um, like realistically, Shimi being someone we don't know, like it's just a feral Nico that came in off the street who was injured. Um, in a lot of ways, like putting her down is probably the more sensible option, But but I had to keep her alive for the content, right? um, yeah, like it's different from like if it was like a pet, like i.e. a family member, um, then it's easier to justify. Like, yeah, of course we'll keep trying to keep her alive, but it's just the fact that she's a total stranger and giving a giving a substantial amount of money and also like risking personal safety. Uh, for someone we don't even know, um, it's it comes back to it's like the you know if when you're on an airplane and they talk about the safety features of the plane, like if the cabin depressurizes and the oxygen masks get deployed, they tell you make sure to put your own mask on before helping anyone else out with getting their mask on. Basically, it's saying, you know, you can't help others unless you help yourself first, you know, and he spent Protag spent all his monthly allotment of insurance money, like his only source of income, uh, to to get the medication for Shivi. So it's um, like he's risking everyone's physical safety from Shimi going ballistic like this, but also risking risking financial safety. They're risking their ability to pay for meals for the four of them. So it's kind of um, you know what I mean. Like it's risking everyone for to save the life of a stranger. It's not not very utilitarian. It says Dev might say if they're around. Uh, uh, yeah, I don't know. But that all that being said, um, having to be the one to actually put the needle into her to inject the lethal injection, that's a hard choice to make. It's like the trolley problem. They um, the classic. There are people tied to the train tracks. The trolley is about to run over five people, but you have just enough time to divert the trolley onto another track. But then one person will get run over, and some people are like really quick to answer that, like, oh yeah, throw the switch. It's better if one person dies than five people die. But for some people, it's not such an easy choice because and it comes to you know question of philosophy and stuff too. But like uh, like it's for some people it's easier to step back and say I'm not touching the lever, I don't want to be involved, and then they consider themselves blameless for whatever happens next because it's Um, it's easier than the prospect of that one person dying by their hand. You know, it's like in an abstract, it's maybe it's easy to say, oh, you know, saving one person is better than sorry, saving the 5 people is better than uh, even, you know, it's better even if one person has to die. But it's like but also what am I trying to say here? Um, I don't know, just living with that sense of guilt of but I caused a person's death, you know. Um, um, yeah, like how do you face the the family of the one person afterward and say like, yeah, I had to kill your loved one because it was the morally right choice or whatever, you know? It's it's different being faced with that sort of thing. I mean, not that I can say I've ever been faced with that sort of dilemma, but you know, I at least appreciate uh, in a what's the word? In a lexical sense rather than an empirical sense that um, the kind of difficulty that sort of moral dilemma poses. Um, I'm rambling a lot here. The point I'm trying to get at is it's even if on the surface this seems like the right choice, it's a lot harder to make than if you're actually faced with it. Is what I'm getting at. But I don't know. The phrasing "risk everything" kind of is Shimi gonna like kill Claudia in her you know lashing out at people and so on? I mean, that's the phrasing "risk everything" makes it sound like something like really bad is about to happen. I don't know. But hey, at the end of the day, this is just a game, so whatever. Maybe I should just go pick the rest guy up, even if it doesn't seem like I don't know. I don't know if either of these options is the quote unquote right one. Let's go. Risk everything. I'm losing her. The thought sparks a different panic. I gasp, overcoming the paralysis, force my lungs open and finally breathe. I have to. She needs me. Dizzy, panting, I reach towards the bed, towards Shimi. My body rejects the idea, gluing me in place. It uses up all my willpower to take a simple, trembling step. Claudia's hand tightens around mine, trying to hold me back. It's okay. It's a total lie. Nothing is okay, and Claudia knows it. Forcing myself across the room from Claudia to Shimi is like drifting weightless through space, yet every step is a decision, a determined effort. I sit on the wet, tattered bed, placing myself between Shimi and her spectral threat. Swallowing away the dread, I close the final small distance and embrace Shimi. I'm sorry. Did you just say you're giving her a hug? Is that a good idea in these circumstances? Okay. Waves of desperation and fever radiate from her. The fear latches onto me. Shimi's very real panic grips me. Holding her tightly, her sweat-drenched shirt clings to both of us, and our fear becomes entangled. I expect her to strike at any moment, to see me as the target of all her agony. I try to swallow, but shards of glass across my dry mouth and tight throat. She writhes as the fever bakes her brain. Her as weak as she is, I can barely hold her still. It's like trying to ride a tornado. She tenses up and stares through me, focusing on the empty nothing that stalks her, forever closing in on her. Shimi! Shimi's hand claws hard at the illusion enveloping her. An errant nail clips my face next to my eye. I feel the cold burn from the cut and the tears of blood that race down my cheek. I struggle to contain myself, fighting the urge to flee from this creature that I can't recognize as Shimi. If she grabs my neck, she could open my throat before I'd be able to react. The panic spills to Claudia. She sees the blood running across my face, stinging my eye closed. She feels the terror pouring off of Shimi. She looks like she's ready to attack, ready to kill Shimi to protect me. Please, Claudia, stay. My voice is quiet but steadfast. My words leave no interpretation. Do not interfere. I'm doing my best to try and talk both of them down. Claudia stops herself. Barely she stays coiled, ready to strike. Yeah, all this reminds me that earlier. I don't know if I should say it. There's the earlier question, risk everything versus mercifully end it, etc. I'm reminded of an exchange I had with. I mentioned the other day during the other stream that Diablo Graves, who's in chat earlier, lost a pet cat that was important to him not too long ago, and I don't know. I don't know if I should discuss that with I don't. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I should discuss it without his permission. So maybe I shouldn't say anything. I'm just saying. Just reminded me of a conversation about that whole thing. I'm just gonna move on. My words leave no interpretation. Do not interfere. I'm doing my best to try and talk both of them down. Claudia stops herself. Barely. She stays coiled, ready to strike. Pepper appears in the doorway, again drawn to Shimi as if her despair was audible, her misery loud, echoing through the house. I feel Pepper's anger directed at me, anger at my risking myself this way. Turning away from Pepper's grim expression, I place my mouth to Shimi's large ear. It covers half my face. As softly as I can, I whisper, "You're safe. I'm here with you. I'm right here." Shimi arches and moans, her hand poised to strike at the phantom. The monster of her illness remains undeterred, growing larger as it slowly consumes her. "I'm here, Shimi. I'm not going to leave you." I keep repeating the words in the softest monotone I can manage. She bucks. Shimi attempts to push herself through me to get at the delusion and pulls away from it. I feel Claudia's thoughts. She is on edge, conflicted, desperate to leap in and rip me from this fevered nightmare that is Shimi's hallucination. She's right, this is crazy, suicidal, but I'm past the point of caring. If Shimi's going to die, then I'll hold her to the end. I don't know why, but I have to be with her now. No, it's more than that. Our connection. I feel like I'm the one dying. I'm the one needing to be held. Shimi. Shimi rises like a tsunami. You're safe at home. Shimi turns suddenly. Her eye desperately focuses on me. Home. Home. A shred of her beneath the avalanche of rage and fever fights to the surface. Through her eye, the mucky soup of twisted realty? Are we selling a home here? Twisted realty? Was that supposed to say reality, maybe? That feels like a typo. Mucky soup of twisted realty thins. She sees me. Shit, reality. Yeah, okay. For a moment, a sliver of Shimi is here with me again. As if the word was a lifeline, I repeat it again and again. 5 editors and 6 playtests. I'm sorry, I didn't get this far when I was doing my proofreading. I only did the demo. Yeah, okay. Anyway, moving on. As if the word was a lifeline, I repeated again and again. Yes, home, Shimi. Safe here, at home. Shimi bursts into tears. Home. And breaks down, completely collapsing onto me. Her untethered arm grips me desperately. I hold her and press my cheek against hers. I feel the heat from her fever and her hot tears on my face as she sobs. Unabated, salty tears stream down. They mingle with the blood on my cheek and my own tears. For the first time, she lets her guard down and she cries. The animal is gone. Shimi is here. We hold each other. I don't know how long it will last, but I savor her. I pull her against me and we face the storm together. I'm right here. We're home. Home. Her voice overflows with lament, barely a whisper between her sobs. She repeats the word to herself, to me, to the demon haunting her. Home! She calls out with it to the room itself, desperate not to leave, because she knows that if she does, she'll never find her way back. Home. We repeat it as if it were an incantation, a magic that could break the curse that is gripping her just as tightly as I am. I squeeze tighter. I hold her as tightly as I can to keep it from taking her from me. She cries and shakes. The fear and pain are unrelenting. I console her. A part of me wants to say the trite, hush, there, it's okay, to calm her, to bring her out of her delirium. But instead I tell her, home, I understand. I can never know, but I understand, because for some reason I can feel it as if it were inside me, burning me hollow. Oh, ad break coming up in 5 minutes. You're not alone. She needs to know this. I need to get her to believe. This is still her battle, but whatever happens, I'll be by her side. But I won't tell her it's okay, because it's not okay. Since being hit by that car, she's been in overwhelming agony. She had to fight against injuries, thirst, and starvation, then fight against all her instincts and allow me to help her. Oops. Shoot. Put the button too quick. Allow me to help her. It's cost her much, her freedom, her tale, and now it wants to take her mind and her life. I'm here, Shimi. I won't let it take any more of you. So much to get here, to this moment, and I need her to know it means something to me. That you mean something, everything to me. I look into Shimi's eye. She lets me. Don't leave me, please. I place my hand onto her blazing hot cheek, wipe away her blood-streaked tears with my thumb and whisper, I want you here. With me, at home. Shimi gently cries. Her breathing is shallow. She is so weak. Yeah, I don't know. Protag really does. I mean, I know he's suffering from like lack of sleep and maybe a bit of delirium himself, but that's like these are some kind of outlandish things to say to someone you don't know. But yeah, more than that, I kind of wonder, like Shimi apparently is very familiar with the word home. I kind of wonder if maybe she used to be someone's pet before we found her in the bushes there. But anyway, I don't know. I feel like maybe she's mistaking us for somebody else from her past, perhaps. Yeah, 2.5 minutes till ad break. Moving on. Breathing is shallow. She is so weak. We stay like that, eyes locked together, barely blinking, feeling that if either of us were to look away, she will disappear forever. Home. For a long time we hold each other, all the while that strange surreality encompasses us. I have no idea how long we've been like this. Hours? Feels like days. I keep holding on to her. Claudia came close and stayed for a long time, then gently touched her cheek to both our heads and left. Did that happen before or after Pepper left? I think after. At some point, our breathing finally settles. Shimi closes her eyes and drifts off to sleep. I think I may have slept a little too. I can't really tell. The heat from her body has waned. I convince myself this is a good thing. Yeah, minute and a half till I break. Like a sentry, I cradle her, guarding her against any ill-willed shadow that might still be considering threatening her peaceful slumber, listening to her soft breathing, feeling her against me, telling her she's home and begging her not to leave. When the sky out the window stopped being black, became orange and then blue, My back and arms burn, crying out in exhaustion. It feels like it's been a lifetime that we've been in this room, eons in this wrecked bed. I keep holding Shimi. Looking at Shimi's face, she again appears on the cusp of awareness. So weak. I need to stretch. I need to use the bathroom. It's been days since she's eaten. Too bad Claudia can't cook. I want to make more broth and see if you'll eat. My voice sounds strange, deep and raspy, gravelly. Shimi's eye cracks open, and through a glazed pupil she watches my mouth as I tell her, Shimi, I'll be right back. But when I try to move away, it all suddenly comes apart. Her hand reaches out, her fingers are around my neck. Oh God, Shimi! Shimi's movements are clumsy and awkward, like some invisible force is working against her. Her dull eye bores into mine, her stump of a tail thumps once. I grab her arm and pull, but she tightens her grip. Her hand doesn't budge an inch. I try again, pulling hard on her arm. Nothing. Her expression is still glassy, almost bored, completely blank. I look to the drawer with the syringe filled with mercy, but it's too far, out of my reach. And the ad break is imminent, so I think I'm just gonna get a jump start on that, and I'll be right back. And I'm back again. Okay. I look to the drawer with the syringe filled with mercy, but it's too far out of my reach. She lets go of my throat, and I gasp. Before I can get away, she seizes my hand. Wide now, tears pool and stream from her eyes. Then Shimi leans forward, clumsily placing her head to my chest. As a soft sob escapes her, she presses her ear into my hand. Home. Shimi. Her words are nonsense, but I entirely understand the meaning. Stay, please. She's afraid of me leaving. She just wants me to stay. I hold her tight. Shimi curls up closer and cries. What's this? The bolt has struck me. Its energy warms my heart, quite literally. Is that a quote from something? Why was that line in isolation there, with accompanied by an image of a knife? I don't know. Anyway, it's been at least 2 days. 3? 3 days since Sawbones left, I think? 4? I have no idea. Shimi? I need to check on her, make broth for her, and I need to make food for Claudia and Pepper and myself. None of us have eaten, not really. Snacks. I remember having some peanut butter crackers, then some cheese, then we also ate some tuna from a can. I also remember thinking, I know, I'll call the restaurant and order takeout to be delivered, and then remembering, oh right, I have no money for takeout to be delivered. Then I wondered what Sawbones was eating right now. Probably something crunchy and moist. Then, I remember holding Shimi in the ruins of my bed. She clung to me, holding on like she was in the torrents of a raging river, drowning, and I was the only thing anchoring her to the shore, keeping her from being swept away. And as much as my body ached from being in that position for so long, I kept holding her with one hand and slowly patting her hair and head with the other. She wouldn't let me leave her. She cried for a long time and then finally drifted off into a deep sleep. Feeling her against me, comforting her sleep, her head on my shoulder, one arm draped around me and the other still strapped to the bed. At some point I finally convinced myself that she was okay. I laid her down gently and forced myself from her side. That was, what, an hour ago? A month? Probably not a month. The chair in my room is comfortable enough, but not for sleeping. The small amount of sleep I've gotten in the past several days was in that chair, and my neck and back have paid the price. My feet feel bloated. The sofa. I'm on the sofa in the living room. Yeah, it's a better choice. I've had to spend a few nights on it, back whenever Mia would get into a mood, and it was always comfortable enough. When Mia would get into a italics mood. Again, it says a lot about the relationship, the way he talks about her. Anyway, but right now it's cramped. It feels like it's shrunk. Or maybe I've doubled in size. My body is contorted and something is keeping me from stretching my legs. How do I not fit on my sofa? I hear myself mumble as my brain forces me awake to address the issue. Huh? Shimi? Shimi. She occupies the far half of the sofa. We simply look upon each other, taking each other in. She looks worn out, but somehow beautiful. She smells good. She's clean. Claudia bathed you. That makes me smile. Claudia helped her wash her hair, now nicely combed out, shining and still damp. This is the cleanest I've ever seen her, probably the cleanest she's ever been. Beautiful. She feels different to me, like the phoenix, consumed by her own fires and then reborn. Maybe it's just the ordeal we went through together, but she seems to shine somehow, like a dark-haired star. I can't look away from her. She just looks at me, comfortably, which for some reason suddenly makes me laugh. My smile becomes huge and hurts my face. The incredible relief at her being alright washes over me. I feel tears well up and manage to swallow them back, but I'm unable to keep words in. It was crazy, this whole thing. I thought we were going to break the bed. No, haha, not like that. I was just so worried about you, like a part of me. I don't know how to describe it. She adjusts. She adjusts slightly and sighs. I think it's supposed to say adjusts. She adjusts slightly in size. That would make more grammatical sense. She adjusts slightly in size. Relax, just listening to me babble at her. Sorry, Maddie. I giggle. It's an odd sound. Maybe your fever rubbed off on me, like you've infected me or something. It's like I'm drunk and have a hangover at the same time. I'm rambling. Despite my holding them back, a tear escapes and rolls down my cheek. I never could handle these all-nighters. Goro could tell you about that. Though if I'm feeling spaced out, you must be 1,000 times worse. Can't imagine how you feel. Actually, somehow, I can. Not sure what I mean. I know. You know what I mean? Shimi blinks. I shut up and we spend several moments just watching each other. I think you're hungry. I think I'm hungry. Claudia may have bathed her, but I'm the only one who can make her broth, and we need to eat. I manage to untangle her legs and sit up. Shimi tries to get up with me, but falters as the little energy she has fails to make her rise. Whoa, you wait here. I'm just going to the kitchen. I'll come right back. I gently place my hands on her shoulders to lay Shimi back onto the sofa. At my touch, she tenses just slightly, but not in a bad way. I feel her skin react to me in a way that is almost electric. Her skin? Sorry, where are you touching her? Shoulders? Okay. Okay. Anyway, moving on. My head swims. I put the pot in the stove to start the broth. Through the kitchen window, I see Pepper by the back fence. It looks like she's catculating. She's definitely getting a choice reward. I'll have to think of something special to thank her for all her help. More story time. Why not? Anyway, I peek in to check on Claudia. As expected, she is on her couch, fast asleep. Her hair is damp and clean. She's probably gotten less sleep than me and still managed to bathe Shimi. I cover her up and kiss her on the forehead. She barely stirs. Kiss her on the forehead? Is this a kind of gesture you usually do with Claudia? You're a good girl, Claudia. Returning to the broth, force myself to think ahead. There are still responsibilities, but it's difficult to form thoughts. They come slow and unstructured. I have to talk myself through it just to process. Right now, make soup. In the slow cooker, yeah. That way Claudia and Pepper can serve themselves when they want. Use this broth as a base. We still have a few meals in the freezer. Save them, make everything stretch. Simple meals for a couple of weeks. Mostly noodles. We'll have noodles tonight. That'll make Pepper happy. Talking through it seems to do the trick, which makes me unexpectedly pleased with myself. And again starts me smiling and giggling. How much lack of sleep and stress does it take before you go crazy? Hold it together. Shimi's fallen back asleep. Excuse me. I watch her for a moment. How close to the edge she was. No, she went over the edge. I went with her and brought her back. That kind of thing changes you. I sit on the floor to keep the room from spinning and quietly cry. Pulled by the aroma of warm broth, Shimi wakes. She lets me feed her, at first a little with the spoon, then we both hold the bowl while she sips directly from it. As our hands touch holding the bowl, it feels surreal again, but different now. The burn on her wrist from where the nylon strap held her, the one that refused to quit, almost seems to glow. Part of me must still be in shock from the whole event, afraid to believe we're really on the other side now, unable to accept the persistent feeling of relief, convinced that this is just a moment of respite in a dream. Afraid that in the other room I'm still holding on to her, that we're both running a high fever and neither of us has a grasp on reality. Or worse. Yeah, I was just thinking, like, can we accept this is happening? This isn't a dream sequence, or is it? I don't know. I mean, how would they have gotten to the sofa? Did, did Claudia carry Shimi to the bath, or did she actually, was she strong enough to get up of her own power, or did she break the other restraint? Like, I have so many questions about how we got to this point, if it isn't a dream sequence. Anyway, moving on. But the sparkle in her eye tells me this isn't the case. Shimi gets 2/3 through the bowl of broth, then pulls away. Satisfied for now. She puts her head back down and stares at me with her blank expression. It's softer now. Everything about her, her manner, her movements, are softer now. I finish the rest of the broth. The flavors are wonderful, and I nearly choke as I swallow too much at once, my body craving it faster than I can feed it. Feels like I haven't eaten in years. I'm not sure how I'm staying awake, and even cramped together, I could so easily join her right there on that sofa, but I stink. I desperately need a shower. She lets me hold her hand, and I wait for Shimi to fall asleep again. I nearly drift off before she does. Stepping into my bedroom to grab clean clothes, I'm first struck with relief. Relief that I don't see myself on the bed holding Shimi. Grateful to be reassured that I am not some echo, and the real me is still lost in the throes of that nightmare. I feel stupid for thinking that. It's over. Of course it is. Still. What a mess. The room looks like a Napoleonic battlefield where two cavalry armies took turns charging back and forth at each other. I half expect to see hoofprints or the wreckage of limbers and caissons. It's really impressive how thoroughly she managed to wreck the place. I remind myself that it wasn't her, it was her illness that trashed the bed, headboard, and picture. Wow. One Neko did this. I pick up a handful of what were once quality linens, now reduced to a damp, ragged testament of all we so recently endured together. The tattered flag of a nearly defeated army that somehow stood against all odds and held the hill. My Shimi-inspired poetic musings, far too fancy for my tired brain, start me giggling again. Somebody's been sleeping in my bed. All three bears, by the look of it. I cover my mouth to stifle the laugh that loudly bursts from me. Why can something that's not even funny feel like the most hilarious thing ever said? Yep, sleep deprivation will do that to you. Yeah, I've read somewhere that sleep deprivation has an effect on the brain similar to alcohol. Sorry, there's something else I was going to comment on. No, I'm just going to move on. This is going to be a big job. That's what she said. I cackle like an idiot into my fist, laughing sure beats crying. Alright, settle down, focus. The easy stuff I can do now, toss the pillows and sheets, flip the mattress. But eventually I'll also need to fix the picture and figure out how to repair the wall. Actually, it might be easier to get a bulldozer and start over. Another dumb comment from me, and I'm giggling again, still clutching the tattered flag remnants of the bedsheet when... wrecked. I jump a little as Pepper comes into my room, grinning from ear to ear. Still smiling, she slowly shakes her head while clicking her tongue. Tisk, tisk, messy, messy, room look like confetti. Pepper, the regular obnoxious pain in the ass Pepper, or teasing me over the sad state of my room, is actually pretty awesome. She got so quiet and serious when the situation was bad. Her making fun of me means that things really are better now. And I'm grateful to her for it. It's a weird sort of comfort that... comfort that... Hey. She pulls me from my musings, my musing, and hooks a thumb toward herself. Pepper, shower time. Guess I can wait to shower till she's done. It will force me to clean more. I just need to get a trash bag and a bulldozer. But first, no shower till you clean up this mess you made. Pepper's eyes get as big as basketballs, and immediately realizing my game, they narrow deviously. Pepper didn't do it. Her "I didn't do it" flows too easily, as if she's had way too much practice repeating the phrase. This makes me grin back at her. I don't know. This looks like a hot peppery mess. Such a chaotic Nico. Want Pepper clean it? Pepper's grin turns sinister. Her tone tells me that I most certainly do not want Pepper to clean it. Though a part of me does want to keep playing this game with her. I'm just too tired. No, no, I'll clean Pepper's mess, but you owe me. Let's just get your stinky butt into the shower. Pepper's look is incredulous and then quickly ominous. No, you stinky butt. Actually, Pepper, I think I'm well past stinky butt. I'm Lord Swamp Ass at this point. That makes Pepper laugh, which makes me laugh. She allows me to call this one a draw, most likely because the shower is the best of all outcomes for her. Pepper's eyes sparkle in reply to the beckoning shower water. Uh-oh, we're about to have another fan service moment. Yeah, I'm suddenly reminded of man, it's 4 years ago now. The whole Carl debacle over in DDMC. Suddenly being confronted with a very serious issue made all the annoyances that came from being the moderator of a community full of teenagers more welcome afterward. Actually, all the previous like little I don't know. Basically, I'm just saying that it's very relatable that after having this whole harrowing experience, the things that used to annoy him are suddenly welcome. Anyway, moving right along. In reply to the beckoning shower water. This time I'm out of the bathroom before she starts taking off her clothes. Oh, there you go. I hate cleaning. Shimi's old bandages will end up in the incinerator, but everything else in my room can go into a bulk recycling bag. It fills up quickly. Torn up sheets, IV tubing, an empty small bag in the morning, and big bag in the evening. I'll go into the recycling bag. A washcloth that was used to battle a fever and other bits of debris bag. Should they go into recycling? Aren't they biohazard? Should they be incinerated? I don't know. Anyway, I don't know. It's. I mean, the needle's been in her arm, and she had infection, fever. Whatever. Moving on. Straps from the bed frame, the broken frayed one, and the remarkably still intact one, into the bag. Although I do pause and consider keeping the strap that wouldn't quit. Something about the metaphor of it reminds me just how lucky we all were with how it ended. The blanket, pillows, and absorbent pads did a surprisingly great job of sponging up Shimi's sweat in the spilled bowl of ice water, but the mattress is damp. I'm leaning against the windows. It should dry out quickly, but it can't go back on the bed yet. New pillows and a blanket placed right onto the hard, flat wooden frame will have to do till then. I doubt I'll ever get all of the small pieces of plaster from the wall picked up, and I'll be finding feathers from the pillow for the rest of my life. But there's a cathartic finality to getting the room back to its normal, ordered state. Straightening up takes a while, but then so does Pepper's shower. When she finally finishes, I take that as my cue to call it quits on the bedroom restoration for now. It's gonna be ice cold, right? I'm eternally grateful that Pepper didn't use up all the hot water. The warmth instantly relaxes me. Days of fatigue surge back, making it clear that I am many hours past being asleep. The bed frame is hard and cold, like stone, monstrously uncomfortable. My sore muscles complain endlessly against the unforgiving and unyielding surface. Sleeping on the bed frame without the mattress? I don't know, maybe it's just me. I'd rather sleep on the floor at that point. Oh well. And I near instantly fall asleep on it. I'm much too tired to dream. Cleverly, I set my alarm so I would only sleep a few hours. I don't want to get up, but I need to feed everyone. We've missed too many meals, and it's hard to cook when you're asleep. It's funny. My mind tries to work on autopilot, but it can't seem to get into the groove, even though I've done this 1,000 times before. It's not even that I'm tired. I am tired, but I'm more distracted. The sounds and smells of cooking bring both Claudia and Pepper to me. They both look great, nicely refreshed and well rested, and for that I hate them. Pepper collects bowls and sporks without even being asked. I'm immediately suspicious. She leaves me the bowls and takes the sporks to the table. I'm tempted to praise her for it, but I don't. Something about the sliver of meekness in the way she's doing it cautions me that it might embarrass her if I did. Before our noodly feast gets going any further, I fill a bowl with some of the last of the soup from the slow cooker. For Shimi. Yes, that's right. Claudia takes the bowl for Shimi over to the sofa. Gently waking her, she sits with Shimi while she eats. I'm a little jealous of this. I wanted to be the one to feed her. I ignore it and focus on the simple. Claudia is being helpful and Shimi is eating. I should just be happy. Besides, I need to finish the noodles. Yeah, I mean, what can I say? Protag. This whole game, this whole story has been full of instances and examples of Protag seemingly forming unhealthy attachments um, to all three of them, really. But perhaps especially to Shimi. But oh well. Anyway, moving right along. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like he actually used the word jealous. Whatever. But as they simmer, the little devil on my shoulder dredges up unpleasant thoughts. Putting aside the weird thrill at the petting a porcupine relationship with Shimi, the reality is that we should not be doing anything with her at all. What is her future? This is dumb. I don't want to think about this. I don't want to think about anything at all right now. Her future is she'll eat and then sleep some more. My future is that I need to stop ruining every moment and take a break from worrying. As if mumbling to myself while the noodles simmer wasn't bad enough, the little devil keep pressing this issue. I'm assuming that's supposed to say keeps pressing this issue. Appears to be another typo. Yep. Yeah. +1 Tormuse. Yeah. When I was going through club meetings, anytime I caught a typo or something, Deb would be in chat, say adding +1 anytime I caught one, just because they were keeping track of who could find the most typos as contest kind of thing, and I won, not to brag or anything. Anyway. But then what? Is she going back into the wild when she's all better? If she is, should we be spoiling her? Every day she's here potentially dulls her sharp survival instincts, making her more likely to end up hurt or in a bad situation. Shut up, brain. Leave me alone. I can't believe I'm sabotaging myself. Shimi's alive. This should be a celebration. I want to shout and drown out the thoughts, but I can't ignore the truth in them. She has definitely changed. She wasn't even Shimi before she came here, and this is another person. Person? So now she's a person? Whoa. Are we considering Nico's personhood now? Are we considering them people and not just, playthings to be ogled or whatever? Anyway, I ignore opening that Pandora's box. One train of thought at a time, please. And yes, this is another person, another someone living here. Someone we'd be permanently obligated to. What is the quote? You become responsible forever for what you have tamed. What's happening here isn't practical. Isn't that Little Prince, I think? So the fox who went. Um, oh, it's been so long. It's been a while since I read that. Um, the fox kept telling the little prince that about if you tame someone, you can be responsible for them. And the fox wants to be tamed by the little prince or something like that. I don't know. I don't recall the details enough to. Pretty sure that's a reference to it, though. Anyway, moving on. Stepping in here's practical. I don't give a flaming fart about practical. Getting wound up now. I need to relax. I need to appreciate what I have. I placed Claudia and Pepper's food on the table and returned to the kitchen to be alone with my plate and my thoughts. I focus on the other side of the argument as I eat. I can't ignore how I've changed since Shimi came into my home and my life. She's exotic and alluring, enchanting. Again, his choice of words in referring to her, like these sound like some. These sound and feel like really unhealthy attachments for the circumstances. Anyway. I've glimpsed the way she thinks. It's like a kind of madness, but that's just what we would call it because hers is such a different style of thinking. Not just what she thinks, but the way she thinks. Her senses are different. The way she processes the world is peculiar and abstract. Perfect kind of thing for thinking for a feral. Things like days of the week aren't important. Day and night are important. She is untainted by guilt or shame, and at the same time it stems from a raw kind of humility. No, a dignity. And even those simple acts of give and take we had at the dining table, it was so much more than just she comes to me, I give her food, and she lets me care for her wounds. She lets herself be vulnerable around me. She feels safe with me. That's pretty amazing. It was a huge accomplishment for both of us. I know she's changed me. I just don't know all the ways yet. For sure, something's opened up for me and made the world appear different. I want more of that. And then helping her through her illness, something happened. Something evolved between us. Something tangible and unmistakable. I don't know how to describe it other than magical. For no discernible reason, I turn. Shimi is standing at the kitchen counter. She's been watching me for some time. At some point, Claudia recreated Shimi's nest. Shimi moved from the sofa back to the shelter and darkness of the closet. This bothered me. I expected her to avoid the closet, but after a quick check I could tell that whatever dark shadows had been haunting it had been moved on. Only regular shadows, and Shimi remained. Besides, where else was she going to sleep? For me, the simple act of getting my bed back to normal felt like a Herculean accomplishment. Fixing the rest will be a task for later, but otherwise my room is in good shape. Yeah. I mean, it kind of makes sense for her to want to sleep in the closet, and from the standpoint of, like, she can keep her back to the wall and feel like any potential threats can only approach from one direction, you know, as opposed to the sofa, which is seemingly in the middle of the room, is very exposed. Anyway. For me, the simple act of getting my bed back to normal felt like a Herculean accomplishment. Fixing the rest will be a task for later, but otherwise my room is in good shape. I'm still drained. I can't seem to sink into my old routines. Stretching the food in the house into modest meals, keeping Pepper out of trouble, it's simple stuff, so why do I have to really plan and then babysit myself through it? Even cooking eggs, it's just awkward. No, that's not it. It's hard to zero in on what it is exactly. It just doesn't feel habitual, like I'm fumbling through it using someone else's body. And thinking too. Ideas are slippery, hard to feel apart, and it doesn't feel like thinking. What does that even mean? I can't turn my mind off. My head is just a hamster wheel going around and around and around, going nowhere. Slept so long. Awake now. Aware. She says it with an earnest lilt in her voice. I give her a sleepy sigh. I wish. I sure don't feel awake. No matter how long I sleep, I don't feel rested. Yeah. Yeah, anxiety will do that to you. Claudia's smile fades. She looks away, down at the shirt she's folding. I wouldn't be surprised if Claudia got a little freaked out with how strange I've been acting. She seems to take it in stride, just letting me babble, which I've been doing for a while. I should probably give myself a break. I have just been through the greatest emotional event I've experienced since I was a child. It was a crucible, every moment of it. I know that I should regret having traded my father's watch for Shimi's life, but I don't. Because, in a way, Dad saved her. He saved Shimi. Maybe that's melodramatic, and Mom would never see it that way. Still, for so long I hated the world that took Dad away and caused me and Mom to become indifferent to everything, shutting it all out. But it did bring me to this moment in my life. A life where my father's watch saved Shimi. Maybe everything happens for a reason. Shimi still hasn't gotten the hang of sitting at the table to eat. I tried to encourage it, but without her being sedated, she gets skittish and looks suspiciously at all of us. So instead, she peeks at us from the kitchen, then darts back. I can hear her using her spork on the bowl to scoop some bites. We ignore it. Well, Pepper doesn't. The suspicious vibe seems to play off of Pepper in a way that makes her want to antagonize Shimi. Sashimi cat never get fat if you spork on a rat. Nikos are not pack animals, I remind myself, so a natural friction is, natural? Yeah, thanks, brain. I give Pepper a scowl. It doesn't stop her smirking. It's notable that Pepper's teasing Shimi is much quieter than when she teases me or Claudia. Scary now. Claudia's comment gets my attention. You're afraid of Shimi? She ardently shakes her head no. Shimi's scared of us? All of it. New now. She purses her lips, searching for a word. The one she finds doesn't get me any closer to her thoughts. Roused. Shimi peeks in again. As she scans the room, our eyes briefly meet. She lingers a bit longer this time before darting out of the room again. We're all quirky in our own way, I guess. Maybe in time Shimi will join us at the table. Till then, she can eat standing in the kitchen, periodically peeking around the corner to make sure that we're not up to something. Beautiful day. Although Shimi retreats to the closet after we eat, at least the rest of us are enjoying some sunshine. Claudia putters around in the garden, picking tiny weeds from the ground around the flowering bushes. Excuse me. 7. Pepper plays some variation of bounce solo. Oh, I thought she was calculating. She slams her ball into the ground. It goes up. Pepper dashes across the yard, tags the fence, turns and runs back, catching the ball before it hits the ground. Then, without breaking stride, she slams it down again and sprints to tag the fence on the opposite side of the backyard. She counts each time she tags the fence. 9. Pepper does this back and forth for a while before taking a short break to catch her breath. And then she starts over again. My eyes follow the fence line. Everything feels slightly off, or maybe more of a something's missing? I'm not sure, but I suddenly have an overwhelming desire to cook out here. Unfortunately, I don't have anything in the house that I can grill, and there's no money to buy anything. There won't be for a while. Suddenly she brings a rat in, right? Pepper catches the ball and slams it on the ground. Oopsie. My shout gets caught in my throat. Pepper sees it too, skidding to a halt and racing towards the very back part of the yard. The ball must have hit something when she bounced it, a rock or a divot in the lawn. Instead of going straight up in the air, it shoots to the side at an angle. Claudia stops what she's doing in time to watch Pepper's ball sail in an arc up and over the back fence. Pepper reaches the fence. Her ears and tail immediately droop. The problem is, on the other side of the fence is a big drop-off. It's a steep slope, a deep ravine of broken granite, led broken granite ledge tangled with briars, ending in a huge boggy area. It's the reason why both the neighborhood and town end at the back of our house. Hey, world building. There's no way Pepper's getting her ball back. Oopsie. However, I see the gears in her head turn as she peers through the slats of the fence. No, don't even think about it. You won't find it. There's no easy way back. There's no easy way down or back up, and if you get hurt, there is no way I can get to you. My unambiguous tone, though clearly understood by Pepper, doesn't please her. She storms into the house. Ball gone now. Poor Pepper. I can't help but feel that Pepper just won't let it go. My automatic reaction is to try and comfort her, but I know talk won't stop her from going after that ball. Instead, I'm going to have to approach this problem from a completely different angle. Hey, Shimi? What, he's gonna get Shimi to get the ball? What? Shimi regards me from the back of the closet. She's a lot less protective of her space. I don't feel at all like I'm intruding. I join her on the floor. Don't mind me, I just need to grab some things. Shimi regards me with mild interest as I open the closest box. As suspected, the tape keeping it closed has been neatly sliced open. There's signs that the box has been gone through, likely by a certain blue-eyed Neko. In the third box, I find what I was hunting for. Before I moved out, I got rid of most of my comics, graphic novels, and manga, only keeping a few. Oh hey, there's the Vanquisher. That we keep seeing excerpts from. Anyway, there's something sentimental about seeing them again after so long. I've had these forever. Feeling nostalgic, I open a random issue of Nyako Maids. Oh, Kitty Bibbles. I didn't see you standing there. I see you standing there, Master. Oh. How does Master taste? I bet Kitsy Mimsy knows. Kitsy Mimsy eats Master sausage all the time. What is this? Oh, yeah. Kitty Bibbles, I see Master made a big lunch for us. Yes, Kitty Mimsy, a big gummy yummy lunch, very grateful. Please, Master, please. Master sausage. Ooh, very grateful. Okay then. I mean, what can I even say? This is clearly supposed to be fan service, the magazine or the manga, I suppose. Master sausage, very grateful. Ooh, munchy, please, Master, please. No, I have no idea what Dad was thinking when he got me that one. What, his dad got it for him? I'm reminded of someone posted the other day in a Discord server I made that when he was a teenager that is like he, I don't know, some relative brought him to the Hooters restaurant, you know, before they went bankrupt, and this led to a somewhat uncomfortable conversation where people are going like, I can't imagine bring kids to that restaurant, you know. But yeah, same sort of vibe here. Okay. Anyway, moving right along. Like, is he reading that in front of Shimi? Oh dear. I close the box and slide it back against the wall with the others. Just sitting here inside the closet with Shimi, my mind is momentarily still. I suddenly have the urge to take a nap with her right here on her nest of blankets and pillows. Yeah, uncomfortable, possibly unhealthy connection, etc., etc. Welp. Anyway, it seems like an excellent idea. Really, dude? Um, anyway, but I can't. With an armful of old comics and manga, I head out to complete my task. Oh, is he, I was thinking he was gonna, like, the comics and manga were going to be some kind of, you know, compensation to placate Pepper, but maybe he is actually going to pawn them. He did talk earlier about selling them. Maybe he's gonna get her another ball. Anyway, hello neighbor. Hi hi. The voice startles me. Veronica rushes a bit to catch up. I had a feeling we were going to see Veronica again. I couldn't imagine that one like 2 minute scene was going to be the entirety of her appearance in this thing. Yeah, it's part of why I was thinking like it, the whole thing with Shimi, they couldn't end with her just dying there, right? There had to be more of it, right? Anyway, moving on. Veronica rushes a bit to catch up. Oh, hey, Veronica, where are you off to? Just as the store to see Lind. It's like such a nice day. I thought I'd walk. That's where I'm headed. Mind if I walk with you? Oh, great. She's going to see the manga. Yes, I mean, no. We're both going to the same place. My question is a polite formality. Still, she gets flustered. I mean, no, I don't mind. And yes, that would, be nice. Having made it through our uncomfortable exchange, we walk. The little time I spend with Veronica, mostly chatting over the gate, is usually very pleasant. Sometimes there's an awkward moment, but things always settle back down pretty quickly. This walk to the store is strangely tense. Each step is offbeat. There's a disconnect in the space between us, a silence that feels stifling. Say something, break the ice. I rack my brain for something to say to ease the tension, but I can't think of a single thing. Veronica is socially clumsy on a good day, so it's expected of her, but I've never had a problem making small talk even with strangers. And I'm on good terms with Veronica. It's never like this. Say something. It doesn't matter what. So, no work today? Veronica blinks and tilts her head. Today's Sunday. We walk the rest of the way in silence. Since her visit is social, Veronica waits, allowing me to do my business with Lind. He quickly looks up on the store's laptop the values for each of the comic books, graphic novels, and manga I brought with me. Yeah, seriously, he's just showing them to people that he knows. Feels even more awkward than that sort of conversation. Oh well, anyway. Myakamaids, Vanquisher, Mia Nya Catgirl, good one. His smile at some of the titles makes my face twitch, as if I'm sharing too much of my past self with Lind. You probably get the best deal selling to the university bookshop. All those college nerds with stacks of daddy's cash. That actually makes sense. That bookstore is all the way up past the hospital, and I don't even have money for bus fare. Huh. Tell you what. Lind taps a finger to his chin, then makes me a lowball offer. For all of them, he knows it's a lowball offer, most likely because he also knows trekking across town to get a few bucks more, well, the juice would not be worth the squeeze, as Goro was so fond of saying. Hey, that's a phrase that Maddie's used quite a bit. I think isn't that like a saying that you made up, Maddie, or am I off with that assessment? I seem to remember you being really pleased with coming up with that. Anyway, moving on. Without answering, I step over to the small toy section and grab the only rubber ball in the whole shop. It isn't pretty, sort of flat gold color, but it's solid and made to last. Big fan of that expression, yeah. On the way back to the counter, I detour to the glass refrigerators and take out 2 packages of sausage. After all the sausage references? Throw these in too, and you got a deal. I get it. What? You said throw these in. Ball, throw, Lindgrens. Yeah. The walk home feels hollow, as though I traded away another part of myself, but this time I don't feel like I got anything tangible for it. I mean, you got a ball and sausages, those are tangible. Looking at the thin wad of bills, the reason is simple enough. I traded paper that once had meaning to me for paper that doesn't. Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it depends on how attached he is to the Nyako maids. But, yeah, anyway, moving on. At least I have a little cash on hand if there's an emergency. Plus sausages for the grill. The ball in my hand is the only thing that gives some meaning to the trade. Pepper deserves it. Besides, let's face it, getting a new ball was the only way I was going to keep her from trying to get the old one back. Knock knock, special delivery for Pepper. Pepper's grumpy face leaves no doubt that it will take a lot to impress her. I bounce the ball once and catch it. Pepper's eyes light up like a holiday fireworks display. Nyako made his peak literature, yeah. New bounce ball! She veers back ready to pounce, pointing at her with the ball. I mock scold. No ball inside, ball outside. Outside! Pepper barks a laugh. Her tail reaches up excitedly towards the ceiling. She gives a bratty grin and wrinkles her nose at me. Teasing her, I present the rubber ball like it's an item of great wealth, then bounce it again. In what can only be described as a lightning blur, Pepper snatches it mid-air before I can catch it again. Got him, Pepper. Yeah. Then Pepper bounces the ball with much more enthusiasm than she should. The new ball, being solid rubber, retains an impressive amount of energy when thrown at a hard surface, like my floor. It rebounds at the speed of sound, hitting me, dot, dot, dot. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. How is this sentence going to complete? Did it hit the sausage anyway? In the one place you don't want to be hit. The pain from the bounce ball, nut per cut, is blinding, doubling me over. My knees reflexively lock together, trapping Pepper's new tool of torture between my legs. I'm on my back, trying to catch my breath while holding not just one ball, but 3. Oh. Ah. Pepper looks down on my crumpled form with a genuinely horrified expression. Oopsie poopsie? No ball in the house. Well, I mean, you did set a bad example by throwing the ball first, dude. You threw it twice in the house. The second time after telling her not to do it in the house. Not that I'm saying that excuses her or anything, but like... Anyway, moving on. Owie, wowie, no play nowie. Good catch though. Valuable lesson was learned that day, yeah. The rest of the day is pleasantly uneventful. Oh. So did he not end up putting the sausages in the barbecue? Thought that was part of the reason he... Oh, whatever. Am I awake? I was asleep. Now I'm neither in the physical world of reality nor in the ethereal world of dreams, but a foot planted in both, the mind straddling the strange place between. All right, brain? That's way too purple fancy. But why am I not sleeping? Wait, that's too purple fancy? I've been I've been restraining the urge to comment on the purple prose thus far. Uh, uh, Dev, Crazy Kaylee in the chat from the other day was commenting on it the other day. the Anyway, moving right along. But why am I not sleeping? Because I'm not alone. Hmm? My mind snaps into consciousness, mostly. There's someone's face mere inches from mine. Pepper? Shimi? The icy steel flood of adrenaline washes away the last of the sleep. Shimi is partly on and partly off the bed, leaning over me, her gaze intense. She's more alert than I've ever seen her. And there is something wild in the way she studies my features. Something in her stare makes me feel like prey, makes me keep very still. And by the way, there's an ad break coming up in 4 minutes, FYI. She leans close and fiercely examines my lips, forehead, nose, and eyebrows. My mind is assaulted with both quiet fear and titillating excitement from her intense scrutiny and unintentional teasing. Why you gotta sexualize everything, dude? Why does your internal monologue have to go in those directions, like, constantly? Referring to her as alluring and enchanting and titillating. Gosh darn it. Anyway, how do you know which specific facial part she's examining? Or is she just that close? Anyway, Shimi sniffs into my ear, sending shivers down my spine to my toes, causing me to inhale sharply. Everything happens for a reason? Keep typing and erasing this. It's almost like you've never watched an anime. Oh, I know. Oh, I know. I'm aware of the tropes. I'm just. I'm not exactly a fan of those kinds of tropes. Or the, like. I don't know. It's just, like. Like, I don't know. Anime is such a mixed bag, you know? Like, I never even really got into anime until, like, recent years. Like, like, after latching on to Doki Doki Literature Club, I found myself watching it more than I used to. And yeah, it's a real mixed bag. Like, there's some really interesting shows and stuff in there, and there's also like there's some enemies that deal with like fascinating concepts that you don't see anywhere else. But there's also a lot of like what I sort of term like mandatory anime bullshit, which is like things like you know taking I'm gonna say an uncomfortable interest in close-ups of teenage girls' bodies. I'm gonna say, or body parts. Just like it's clear what they're like, what audience they're trying to cater to, and it just and it's making me uncomfortable watching it. You know, even if it's an otherwise interesting show, it's I don't know. It's par for the course. It's just part of how it goes. Like it's just like like I don't know. I guess in terms of this show, a big part of the reason it leaves this uncomfortable feeling in my mind is like Protag's internal monologue is both sexualizing them and dehumanizing them. You know, like he sees them as less than human, but still lusts after them. That's an uncomfortable dichotomy for me, you know? uh, check Discord DM when you have a mo. Sure. I'll have to do that after the stream because I turned Discord off because it seems to cause OBS to crash sometimes. But yeah, I'll for sure I'll check it out. It's yeah, I don't know. It like I mean there just there are a lot of like animes I can name that just fall into that sort of thing. It's just like, you know, the show is interesting and draws me in, and then it's like, oh great, right, we have to have the mandatory anime bullshit moment. let's just let's just get through this, whatever. um you know what I mean, like it's not like I'm not saying, oh wait, shoot, outbreak is imminent. Okay, more on that when I get back. I'm gonna take a break. I'll be right back. And I'm back again. And our Cyclone's here. Welcome to the stream. How's it going? I see there's a conversation happening in chat while I was away. Oh, hey, I mean, I missed most of the stream, just got off from work. Welcome. How far are we? You missed Nyakomades. Yeah. Yeah. Yep, you missed the Nyakomades. Yeah, and I was just and I was just in the middle of before the ad break interrupted. Teresa did not appreciate the satire was poking fun at the whole thing. Oh, sure, satire, of course. Anime cat maze, yeah. I'm not. Hey, look. What do I even say? How do I feel like I need to choose my words carefully, or I'm gonna get judged or something. Hmm. Broth. Yeah, no, um, like I said before, I mean, the whole inclusion of, you know, implications of sex or sexiness to titillate the audience is, you know, par for the course, this sort of thing. You know, like, sex isn't a bad thing in itself. I mean, it's what am I trying to say here? I don't know. Like, frig, it's already coming out wrong. What am I trying to say? Um, like, I mean, in my own writings, I put plenty of, you know, like, sexual implications into my stories, or you know, like I don't know, random example in Sayori Says No to Suicide, Yuri and Natsuki are doing something off camera in that, or in you know, like when I released Turquoise, there's a sex scene which happens in between scenes, like there's a fade out and then they wake up the next morning, you know, something happened between them. Um, like, it's not like it's not like I'm thinking that like not, I don't mean to come across like some kind of Puritan, like, oh no, sex is bad or something. Um, but I do find it off-putting when it's directed at um, um, you know, these beings who are treated as subhuman and have no power and no rights. It gets uncomfortable there, you know. Like I like, my ideal is like a relationship between equals, you know, like who, between people who treat each other with respect. Um, even if it even if there isn't, you know, quote unquote love involved, there still needs to be, you know, trust and honesty and respect involved. And in the kind of power dynamics which are expressed in this story, like those kind of details are absent, and then it gets really uncomfortable. Bachikiwawa, yeah, sure. um, and understandably, yeah. Yeah, it's just uncomfortable. Like I made the comment about anime taking, you know, lingering views of, you know, teenage bodies, whatever. Like you know, random example off the top of my head. The anime My Dress Up Darling. Uh, that was a show which, like, within like 30 seconds of the show starting, like, I was immediately hooked. Like, you've got this gender non-conforming guy who likes dolls, and that's the hook for the show. That he's like he likes them and is you know, dress them up and stuff, but and this later in life translates into him doing cosplay for this girl he likes, and well, I mean, doing cosplay, doing her like making her costumes for her, because he's become so skilled at making outfits. Um, and like the fact, this notion of like because I like any kind of show or whatever that can do something different. Like mixing up gender roles is interesting to me. Having a guy big into dolls, but also like traumatized by being treated badly for that. Like, hey, boys aren't supposed to like dolls, etc. And he's basically the opening scene is him getting traumatized into keeping that part of himself hidden from everyone and being scared of people finding out. And like I said, I was instantly hooked. It was like I was instantly invested. Like, no, you know, it's okay to like them. It's okay to like what you like. And I don't know. I just it kind of instantly makes me invested in his story and his little journey to be comfortable with himself, and hopefully, his love interest, the girl Marin who does the cosplay, who he's making the costumes for, is like I hope that over the course of the show, she helps him be more comfortable in himself, and help him realize that it's okay for him to like things, for to want and have things for himself. And sounds pretty interesting. Yeah, it's yeah. I like the show. I mean, there's one season on Crunchyroll. There was supposed to be a second season out last year, and it's still not out. So who knows what's happening with that? But hopefully it comes out someday. I'd be interested in seeing the continuation of the story. The reason I'm bringing all this up is because it still has that mandatory anime bullshit of, like, oops, I walked in on her naked, and oh, we saw Marin's butt, and it's like, the camera takes these leering close-ups of her body or whatever, and it's like, like, this is an interesting story with like emotional stakes I was immediately invested in and stuff, but it still has to do this. Yep, tropes of Hawaii. Yeah, no, it has to do this stuff that makes it a little uncomfortable to watch. Again, not that sex is bad or anything. It's the I don't know. I don't know. It's Don't kick Shane, get your freak flag flying. Haha, true. Yeah, yeah. It's I don't know. Combination thing. Like it's that awkward place of portraying teenagers being sexualized, I guess. I mean, it's I don't know. It's like, it's what do I even say about this? How do I express this? Like, sex isn't a bad thing, but everything in its own time and place, and there's an uncomfortable power dynamic between adults and minors. So there's a huge imbalance between adults and minors, which makes any sexual or romantic relationships like super inappropriate. And I don't know, like the portrayal. It's not just that they're being sexualized. It's just that they're not participating in their own sexualization. It's like the camera's taking a leering look at her body without her consent, kind of thing. I don't know. It feels weird and uncomfortable to me. Like, if it was just a scene of the two main leads, like, I don't know, kissing or whatever, or getting yeah, sex is not bad. I'd want to have an equal relationship as well, and power imbalances suckle around. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's just it's a difficult subject because like because then it raises questions like, well, how can you portray uh, a relationship between two teenagers, which is, honest and real, like, teenagers are, they're hormonal. They're gonna have, sexual urges. That's the age when that sort of thing starts. Um, like, how do you portray it in a way that's real, that feels real and honest and accurate, but isn't in that neighborhood of being really uncomfortable? I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with this. Like, it's 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 a sea of I don't know, some moral gray areas and some moral, like, real no-nos that get mixed in there. That's like, where do you draw the lines of what's appropriate to depict in a piece of fiction? Um, it's I don't know. It's the kind of thing. Maybe I'm overthinking it. I don't know. Maybe there's different people are going to have different reactions to that sort of thing. It's going to mean different things to different people. Um, for people who've been, you know, taken advantage of at that age, they're gonna have much stronger feelings against it, because they know that's not cool. But what am I even saying here? Yeah, it's yeah, it's where am I even going with this? I mean, the only reason I brought all of this up is he keeps talking about or the protag's internal monologue keeps talking about Shimi in sexualized terms. Um, and not long ago she was dying and in terrible pain, and she might still be in pain actually. It's still. It seems like it's only been a couple days later. Um, and I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I find myself reminded. I don't know. I, I have particular opinions of this, and I'm reminded of some time back. I had a friend who, she's very troubled. She was going through troubled times, and she went through a bad breakup, which was kind of like, you know, that just kind of broke her, and I was worried that she was suicidal, and uh, I let her stay at my place to keep an eye on her and stuff, and there was a spare bed for her to sleep in, and at one point should I be telling this story? At one point she said she didn't want to sleep in the spare bed. She asked if she could join me in mine. It's like, okay, fine. We kept on our own sides of the bed, but it's one of those things that years later I look back on and was like, was she hoping that something was going to happen between us? Like, because in my mind I was like, she's distraught and crying and talking about ending her life, and I'm like, I'm not gonna take advantage of her in that situation. Like, heck no. She needs care and empathy, and she needs a good friend. She doesn't need that. And like, I don't regret that I didn't do anything, but it's like, I know it's just that's just I don't know. I'm just relating this anecdote just because it's just give an idea of where I'm coming from for this sort of thing. Like I don't know, just sexualizing someone who's just been through a horrific and nearly life-ending accident and injury and illness, uh, and is completely dependent on you for her survival. Uh, it just feels wrong. It just feels like fundamentally wrong to me. And this narrative keeps bringing that sexualization of her, you know? Um, I don't know. Anyway, moving right along. Sorry, where did Shimi sniffs into my ear, sending shivers down my spine to my toes, causing me to inhale sharply, which makes her back off slightly, but only momentarily. There's no telegraph or hint that Shimi is about to move. She just moves. It's unnerving. Shimi makes a small lunge, returning her face next to mine, and I swear I think she's going to kiss me. I can feel her warm breath against my mouth. If I moved forward even slightly, our lips would touch. Yeah, I yeah, the other day, Dev, I mean, Crazy Kaylee was in the comments in the chat, and they said, if it turns out she's in heat, I'm abandoning the story. Anyway, moving right along. She looks into my left eye, then into my right one, and quickly back to my left. Curiosity? No. Well, yes, but also no. It's more, roused? Looking for something that's been misplaced, but she's unsure of what she's looking for. She thinks I may have it, and I've no idea how I know that. Oh, is it more possible telepathy or something? Does she want her? She wants her Nyako maids back. Anyway, she pulls away, staring at me with an expression like I did something wrong. She sighs dejectedly, giving up for the moment on finding whatever it is she's seeking. Again, it's like I can tell she's about to leave. Wait. She does. Then, with her chin on my chest, a different curiosity. Her demeanor now uncertain, she hesitantly reaches out, lightly grazing my face with her fingers. She quickly withdraws her hand and examines her fingertips. I can't tell if she's suddenly fascinated by something she pulled from me, a scent, or if she's just discovered that she has fingers. She reaches out again towards my ear, more deliberately, this time hovering above it. She touches and then rubs my ear. It is clumsy, at the same time she's gentle. She stops. Her ears perk at some sound I can't detect, breaking the moment. Her face lights up as her head snaps to her left, her entire being alerted to something somewhere to her left, apparently. It reminds me of how feral she is. Shimi rises, intently drawn to the window. Her movements feel slower than they should be, stiff. Looking out into the night with quick twitches of her ears and a shake of her short tail, her feelings are simple and wild. Shimi stares long into the frozen fireworks of the starry night sky. Then she turns to me, waiting. Slowly sliding myself out of bed, I join her at the window. We stay like that for a moment, regarding each other in the moonlight. Shimi delicately takes my hand, pulling it to her. She leans her face into my hand so that I'm cupping her cheek. Then she reaches out to do the same to me, her hand on my face, like a kiss, and balances me. Not once does she break eye contact. A smile erupts from my enjoyment of our increasingly strange encounter. We stay like this, gazing at each other, and touching. In the blurred dark, I can see Shimi very clearly. Is that a smile? Was that the first smile that crossed her face there for a second there? The guarded expression she always wears finally breaks. Shimi clumsily mimics my smile. Smiling isn't a natural thing for her. It's just barely there, a stranger to her face. Seeing it caused another warm wave to crash over me, but this one is soft. Joy. My smile grows. Shimi's smile doesn't grow, but becomes a bit more genuine, less trying it on and more a part of her. So strange are the stars that guided us here, eh, Shimi? That's, again, fancy, but Shimi is not fancy. This connection we have is not fancy. It is simple, and it's ours. All of it. The rough patches, the fear, the misinterpreting each other, and also the connection, ours. No one else anywhere can claim it. Just us. I know this to be true because she's looking at me the same way I look at her, confused but comforted. And we keep coming back to find our connection again, our common place. Because it's enchanting. We made the world appear different for each other. She watches my mouth twist and contour, shaping the sounds into words. It's weird for you here, isn't it? I'm as bizarre to you as you are to me. Shimi moves her hand to my ear, tracing its shape with her fingers. She still hasn't taken her eye from mine. A little scary and also amazing. She touches my lips, then turns and heads out of the room. Shimi looks back at me from the doorway, and again her manner is determined, roused. Back to trying to find whatever it is she's misplaced, she steals away out of my room and down the hallway. I lie awake for a while, just basking in the strange moment shared with Shimi, and trying to figure out why she makes me think such weird and poetic thoughts. She's not fancy. Finally, as I drift off to sleep, I feel Shimi slip into my bed. She does it as if it's the most natural thing in the world. I don't even have time to be surprised by it before she's next to me hugging a pillow. Shimi watches me. Periodically her ears twist towards the window or to the bedroom door. I watch as she relaxes in phases. Stages where she starts to settle, then suddenly perks up, alert, ears and her whole being attentive to some invisible sound somewhere far away. After a moment, slowly relaxing again, she repeats this, calming a little more each time. We are such different creatures. Does it matter? No, it doesn't matter. We are just us. Finally content that nothing in the immediate vicinity is going to eat us, Shimi presses her toe to my leg and closes her eyes, her ears remaining attentive to all the things around me, and all the things around her, including me. It takes me almost no time to fall asleep. Well, I mean, I still find the power imbalance off-putting, but there is some interesting stuff in the there's some like the vivid characterization that's going on. Anyway, moving on. Standing outside the shop, I pause in the shadow of a building next to a metal light pole. After breakfast, I didn't really have a plan when I left the house. Just going out. The weirdest part of it, when I'm headed to the shops, my brain usually switches to autopilot. I don't pay attention to the sights or sounds or smells. Instead, my mind plays with whatever thoughts are currently bouncing around my head. I had none of that. I saw each tree, anticipated every approaching car, alert to it all. Actually paying attention to my surroundings felt important for some reason. Yeah, is Shimi rubbing off on him some more? You know, she's constantly alert to her surroundings. And always keeping an eye and ear out and so on. I mean, the fact that she is in a constant state of anxiety and being alert to everything and anything does suggest that there's I mean, it does feed into the notion that there's some trauma from her past. Yeah, anyway, moving on. Um, and just moving outside feels, well, everything feels slightly downhill. What am I saying? It's like downhill natural, wandering is easy, or easier than, well, not wandering, resisting the urge. I know I didn't leave the house because I wanted to avoid any of the girls. Things are going great at home, like some master puppeteer was behind the scenes. We're all remarkably in sync. I never imagined Claudia and Pepper would get along, let alone Claudia, Pepper, and Shimi. But back to wandering. I have no money with me, and I don't need anything, so I don't go into the shop. Steering clear of Lind is a bonus. Still, it's weird that I'd walk to the store for no reason, just a sudden need to stretch my legs. Whatever. I'm just glad I did. Maybe I can't understand it, but I feel it. My pulse rising from the small bit of exercise. Somehow, I'm more alive. This is a much better waste of time than sitting and surfing on my phone. Get him, Pepper. Back home in the comfortable familiarity of my fenced-in yard, I easily push all thoughts out of my head. It's a gorgeous afternoon. The sausages sputter and pop on the nice hot grill. We've got Chekhov's sausages return. I mean, I don't know if you can call them Chekhov's sausages. I mean, they were only mentioned in the last scene. I did wonder what happened to the sausages that he bought. Anyway. Claudia suggested we grill some apple and bell pepper slices to have with them, and she now hums her made-up tune while checking her plants. We both entertain ourselves watching Pepper play her game of solo bounce with a big smile on her face. Shimi joins us. Though it's unnatural for her, she emerges from the doorway and steps into the sunshine. She gives cursory attention to Pepper and Claudia, then spends the rest of the time splitting her focus between the woods beyond Veronica's yard and me. Did you just have a time jump here? What? The hinted colors of a bruised sky reaching through the window tell me that morning, still a ways off, creeps closer. Shimi joined me when I went to sleep. I don't know when she got up, but something pulls me to find her. Seeing the back door cracked open is unsettling. An invitation for rats to come in? Pepper would love that. No, I discard that concern completely. There are 3 Nikos in the house. Rats won't come near this place. Besides, it's not the doors open, it's why the doors open that is unsettling. Shimi is near the bushes at Goro's gate, looking out into the darkness and woods beyond. Strangely, the backyard only feels like an extension of the house, as if the black sky were the ceiling of another room and Shimi was simply on a balcony looking out into a faraway landscape. One of her ears flicks in my direction, a solid acknowledgement from her, but otherwise she stays focused on the night. It's like coming across someone immersed in the middle of a book. She has an energy, absorbing all the invisible facets of the mysterious world hidden away out there in the slowly retreating darkness. Too poetic, but yeah, she's deeply engrossed in it all. I don't want to interrupt her. At the same time, she has aroused my curiosity. As quietly as I can, I move closer to her. I try to listen to the night like she does, to hear all the out-of-phase aspects of it, to connect with what she's connected to. But the language the night speaks is just too foreign to my senses. It's too early to be up, but I know I'd never fall asleep right now. Out of habit, I grab my phone and fall into the sofa. Phone's dead. Duh, yeah, the phone's dead. When was the last time I charged it? My phone is dead and I don't care. I don't. But I know I should. It's just that the regular world feels empty, colorless. Still, I do need to charge my phone. Mom could be trying to call, more likely Mia sending hate via text, regardless. Before I can grab my phone charger, that feeling like I'm being watched, I think I'm starting to enjoy the rush it brings. Shimi's presence fills the room. I feel her before I see her. She stands at the living room window by her hoard. I never heard her come in or saw her cross the room. As she stares through the window out into the night, Shimi has that same look from when she woke me up the other night, seeking the something that's been misplaced. Finding me instead seems to derail her from her hunt. She stands for a moment, gazing at the window, then turns, snapping her sharp gaze to me. I focus my eyes on the blank screen of my phone. In my peripheral vision, I watch her, still as a statue, gauging me. I'm not fooling her. She knows exactly what I'm doing. Then, with a sudden sleek and easy movement, she pulls back the curtain. She's moving better. Her grace is returning. She picks up the can of crushed tomatoes. This is another of the bizarre ways we communicate, like leaving notes for each other. She puts things behind the curtain, creating a hoard and satisfying her habitual need to collect. Then I put some of the things back in a way that makes the whole house her stash. Something I think we both find oddly comforting. Crushed tomatoes, fancy brand. Her hoard behind the curtains currently consists of a towel, a canvas shopping bag, a photograph of me, and that same can of crushed tomatoes. I think it's the same as before, only minus the knife. Crushed tomatoes of all things. Not tuna, not condensed milk, crushed tomatoes. I don't know if I think it's completely nuts or really cute. Her bobtail conveys pleasure as she returns the can to her mostly unmolested pile. Lingering there, Shimi looks again out the window at the fading darkness and beyond. Whoa, hi. Satisfied that her little treasure trove is safe and finding nothing outside that catches her interest, she moves quickly to join me on the sofa. With a hand on my thigh, Shimi stares at me expectantly. Then she takes my hand and pulls it to her ear. It's obvious what she wants. How could I deny you, Shimi? While I rub her ear, Shimi's cautious expression slowly changes to one of strange ecstasy. Her eyes close. I rub. Okay then. Your ear is cool again. The fever's gone for good. Shimi leans her head and releases a long sigh. Do you remember the last time we did this? She replies to my talk. She answers me, but the noise she makes is less than talking and more just making a soft, breathy something, like a lazy trill of her tongue. Just making sounds to add to the moment, pleasant noise, but devoid of substance, which I guess is the same thing I'm doing. After a few moments, she suddenly fixes on me suspiciously. Her ear rubs are a two-edged sword for her. She enjoys them, but pleasure is still a strange concept. Careful, Shimi. Affection can be addictive. That's, okay. That's one way of saying it. And again, like, she enjoys them, but pleasure is still a strange concept. Like, you're putting words in her mouth, or words in her mind, I don't know. You're making assertions about what she's thinking and feeling. You're not a mind reader. Boy, can it? You need affection being addictive? Anyway. I grin at my own words. Shimi copies me. She relaxes again and leans even closer. With a hand on each of her ears, I massage her ears and the part of her head at their base. Her eye, locked on me, again begins to have a vague distance about it. I rub. Maybe he can read minds, ? Not? I mean, I don't know. I kind of go back. I do seem to go back and forth. Like, is he having some kind of telepathic connection with her? But also, like, he's making assertions about what they're thinking and feeling, and I'm skeptical. But about his ability to discern that. Anyway. Sorry. Her eye blocked me again. It begins to have a vague distance about it. I rub. Her eyes shut tight, her lips slightly part. Shimi's breathing becomes deeper and quickens. Her hands move to my knees, supporting her as she leans closer and begins a rhythmic massage of her own on me. It's as if my rubbing of her ears were a wave traveling through her whole body, then releasing onto my legs like surf on a shore. Okay. She squeezes and releases on one leg, then repeats on the other in tempo with my rubbing, causing me to deepen the ear rub, causing Shimi to squeeze harder. Her breathing is coming in long, relaxed sighs. Shimi presses her cheek against my forearm. The world seems to slip away from us, becoming a faraway dream, as if our heartbeats are syncing, our physical rhythms meshing, emotions and energy shared. Shimi turns her head just slightly and bites my forearm? Okay. Are we talking about like a love bite kind of thing? Oh boy. I freeze. She's holding onto my arm with her teeth. It's firm but not painful. Shimi is still breathing in deep sighs, and her hot breath on my bare arm is giving me very mixed signals. I don't want to stop, but it's also tripped me out of sync with her. Sensing my change of mood, Shimi breaks from her own light trance. Sort of? What, in response to the love bite comment? Anyway, um, breaks from her own light trance. It takes her a moment before she realizes that she's holding fast to my arm with her teeth. She blinks. Her eye focuses on me. The heady moment recedes, leaving a dry awkwardness. She's still holding my arm in her mouth. She opens her mouth, releasing me. With an expression as close to embarrassed shyness as she can muster, Shimi quickly leaves. I hear the hall closet quietly shut. Soon the sun will be up. I climb back into bed anyway. A moment later, Shimi slides under the covers next to me. I was hoping you would. I'm enjoying having her this close to me. She's enjoying it too. Even in the fleeting dark, I can feel it in her weird little smile. Okay then. Hey, Slave Rabbit's here. Welcome to the stream. How's it going? Never knew you played games like this? Well, I don't. Not usually. There were some recommendations of it, I guess. Like, what can I say? I figure, hey, even if it has content which, haha, Treasure Secret Furry, haha, very funny. Um, like, even if it has content that, you know, elicits discomfort, it's okay. I can talk through it, so it works itself out. Secretly a worm guy? Oh no. Let's not bring that up again. um, anyway, I think this might be a good stopping point for this. Sorry to be cutting things off right as you arrive there, Slayer, but um, this, yeah, this point where there's a time jump seems maybe is an appropriate time as any to just yeah, a good spot, yeah, a good stopping point, exactly. Um, yeah, what else can I say that I haven't already said? Yeah, I've already yammered plenty about you know, power imbalances in, you know, like sexual slash romantic interactions, relationships, or whatever. And I'm not gonna lie. I do find it off-putting in the story, but that doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. Like it's it's still the story does still portray some interesting and vivid characters, you know, and the character interactions are interesting. I know of VN is called Everlasting Summer. Yeah, I'm not familiar with that one. Power imbalance because Shimi will kick his ass. Haha. Yeah. Yeah, she might not take a rejection well if she does, like, I don't know, come on to him or whatever. Um, Send a pioneer camp in the Soviet Union during the 1980s? Huh, interesting. And maybe murder him, exactly. um, yeah. Hey, like, even if the story brings up uncomfortable topics, hey, it's at least it promotes discussion, and that can be interesting in itself, or at least I don't know. I find it interesting. I mean, there are people in the audience, so clearly some people find it interesting too. If I go on my Tormuse tangents and all that. um, Pepper laugh, Pepper laugh and laugh. You think, Yeah. I do kind of wonder what Claudia and Pepper's reactions are to Shimi getting so close to Protag and like even slipping into his bed at night. Like, I sort of imagined like Claudia in particular. Um, I mean, she clearly has some affection for Protag. Excuse me. Hmm. More water. um, Really has its moments, plus it's lengthy. Listening to you deal with the tough choices, excellent viewing. Cool, cool. Well, I'm glad I can keep you entertained. It's a couple of questionable CGs. Uh-oh. Oh, great, I've got hiccups. Yeah, well, I'll try to hold my breath to get rid of the hiccups after the raid. I believe Coder is streaming right now. He should. Yep, he's playing Persona 5 Royal. I did intend to raid him after I finished my stream now, so that's what I'm gonna do. My Blessing Summer is like Kato Shoujo made by hobbyists too. Oh, interesting. But the rest sounds good though. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, like, hopefully all my rambling doesn't sound like I'm, necessarily like complaining about the story. I mean, or like I don't know, like trying to I'm not trying necessarily trying to send a message that oh this is bad or whatever. It's just my way. I go on it's my way to go on long rambling tangents about things, and I have strong opinions about some subjects. Um, and I have my own biases, but I try to be aware of my own biases and talk them out. Um, I just feel like that's a good way to be. um, yeah. Beyond that, I don't know. I think I've already said all I can think of to say. So that's all for now. Until next time.